I was a physicist. What I built is still out there, and I am not. 6 years old and already pulling things apart. I should have learned to put them back together instead. He stepped over my work every single night. That silence was the first lesson nobody intended to teach me. She looked at me like I was reading the wrong thing. She was right. I just did not know it yet. I embarrassed him in front of 30 students. I thought I was being precise. I was just being cruel. I lit it to feel older. I kept smoking to feel less. By 40, I had done both, and neither one had worked. I walked out first. I always walked out first. I mistook speed for certainty for most of my life. He said matter was mostly empty space. I wrote it down. I did not understand yet how personal that was. He played every night, and I never once asked what the song was. I regret small things like that now. I watched them from benches and wondered what they talked about. I never sat down long enough to find out. He warned me about the radiation. I nodded and kept working without gloves when nobody was watching. I left every party before midnight. I told myself I had better things to do. I was probably right and wrong. I smoked in the cold and called it thinking. Most nights it was just avoiding the silence inside the room. The highest grade. I should have felt something. I packed my bag and walked home in the dark, alone. I signed because the physics was the most interesting problem I had ever seen. That was the whole reason. The underground air smelled like something sealed away for good reason. I breathed it in and called it home. Beautiful is the wrong word. Accurate is the word. They were the most accurate equations I ever wrote. 3 a.m. again. The cleaning staff stopped greeting me. I think they assumed I lived there. I basically did. The numbers worked, and I pressed the paper to my chest like it was something I could keep. I was wrong. 3 years. I said it without hesitation. I did not ask what it would be used for. I should have asked. I stood at the mirror for a long time. The man looking back had already made the decision. I just had not yet. I counted every day of those 3 years. I was proud of the precision. I had no idea what I was counting toward. Something entirely new. I wrote those words in my notebook that night. I did not write what came after them. I stood in the scorched field and felt something I had no name for. I lit a cigarette to fill the silence. He signed without reading. I watched him do it and said nothing. That makes me part of the first mistake, too. I initialed every seal, my handwriting on every lock. I have thought about those initials many times since. He showed me the results, and I looked out the window instead. I already knew. I had known for a while. Dry air. That is what I told myself. 3 months of dry air. I was a physicist. I knew better than that. 7 people and 1 missing case. I did the math in my head in under 4 seconds. It was not good math. I built it to prove something to myself. That was the truth I never wrote in any report. Just to prove it. My name was not on it. My equation was. There is a difference, and also there is absolutely no difference. 2 groups threatening each other with my work. I turned off the radio and sat in the quiet for a long time. 6 calls. 6 times it rang into nothing. I counted the rings on the last call. 14. Then silence. I recognized the damage pattern immediately. My stomach recognized it before my brain finished processing it. He watched me from the dark. I smoked and pretended not to notice. We both pretended for about 20 minutes. Above both of us, that phrase. I have turned it over in my mind every single day since. Above both of us. Same radius, same geometry. I sat down on the floor of the canteen and someone asked if I was all right. Blank pages for 3 nights. The right equations existed. I just could not make myself be the one to write them. Both lungs. He said it carefully, like the careful words would make the image on the screen less clear. They named it on international television. A reporter used 3 wrong words to describe what I spent years building. I wrote the letter. I sealed it. I burned it. I have rewritten it in my head every day since. Same ending. Intent. They kept using that word, as if the physics cared about my intent when it was already loose in the world. A 4th prototype without me, using my numbers. I sat with that information for the rest of the afternoon. Normal people on a normal street. I watched and felt like I was looking through glass at someone else's life. I avoided mirrors for the last 2 years. Not vanity. I just did not want to watch myself pretend everything was fine. Consultant. They said it politely. The door closed and I was no longer the author of anything. Just a signature. A geopolitical variable. My life's work reduced to a variable in someone else's equation. That felt correct somehow. I put the bug back. I wanted them to hear a man eating dinner and reading and going to sleep like nothing had changed. I knew for months. I went to work anyway. I did not know what else to do with the hours. Work was all I had. I left the weapon out. I kept the physics in. I wanted something of mine to exist that had not hurt anyone yet. 800 steps. Same path, same count. The perimeter of a life reduced to a number I could still control. Perfect chaos. I built something with perfect internal logic and it produced perfect external chaos. That tracks. He put the chalk down and looked at me like I had taken something from him. I had. I knew exactly what it was. I lay in the dark and listened to my own chest. It was the first time physics felt like it was happening to me. The cemetery was the quietest place I had been in years. I stayed the full 2 hours. I did not want to go back. I gave him the warning and walked away. I hope he kept it. I hope he never needed it. I doubt both things. He told me what I already knew, with the careful voice people use when they think the news is new to you. Civilian zones. I put that phrase somewhere inside and did not pick it up again for a very long time. 42. 11 years on a shelf. Someone else's shelf. Someone else's problem now. Except it was never only his problem.